Hello, everybody. Rob Cootie, the MLM Solution. Today is Thursday, May 6th. Already May 6th. It's Thursday. As you know, we go live each and every day, Monday through Friday, as we stream live to our Facebook page, our YouTube channel. You can find us by utilizing our hashtag the MLM Solution. That's hashtag the MLM Solution. Today's topic is going to be, should I stay or should I go? Podcast number 177, should I stay or should I go? You may be asking yourself, what does that mean? Well, we did a show called the Hokey Pokey Two-Step, and you can go back and listen to that episode, but this one's different. Should I stay or should I go? It's a personal decision, and there's many things that influence your decision on whether to stay with a company, stay with a comp plan, whatever the case may be, business building system. We're going to touch on those things. Those are important decisions. They can interfere with your success if you don't make the right decision. So we're going to talk about that and more in today's episode. So join us, if you will, at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, once again on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. And once again, share our podcast and our platforms with our fellow network marketers all across the globe by sharing our hashtag the MLM Solution, hashtag the MLM Solution with our fellow network marketers. Help be a positive influence on their life by sharing this empowering and important information. All right, with that being said, I'm going to hop off of here. We shall see you in a moment.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Happy Thursday there, Miss Marie.
Good morning, Rob. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. It's hard to believe it's the 6th of May already.
It is, and I have to tell you, I was tempted because the title of our show today, "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" is a song from the Clash's album "Combat Rock." Back
You are right,
80s.
man. What a memory! Yeah.
And I wanted to pull it up and just play that main line, but
that is cool.
I didn't want to get us into any copyright
That's
trouble,
right.
so I
That's
decided
exactly
not to do that. But if you're listening to this podcast, watching this video, and you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sure there's a YouTube video out there. Look up The Clash. Should I Stay or Should I Go? Classic song.
It is a classic song. Boy, man, that's a group I had forgotten all about. You brought it up, man. What a memory that brings back. Yeah. I'll be listening to that today. You mark my words.
Because that's going to be running in the head the rest of your day now. I know it. So.
Well, today's a good day because I had my SpongeBob. As you know, I'm a big SpongeBob. There's my hot coffee, and here's my cold coffee in my Starbucks cup. I have one of each. Yeah. So, do I drink all that coffee? Not very often. And just not to get off topic, but when I'm in front of the computer and I'm working, sometimes I need a distraction. So I pull out the old headphones.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's some serious daggone headphones. And I'm in my own little world, so I'll be listening to The Clash today.
There you go. There you go.
Because the wife, she doesn't like my taste in music. And plus, I don't want to blow her out, so on the headphones go.
Nice.
She goes, when she leaves, she'll say, "Don't you turn that music up too loud. You'll scare those dogs." But, I'm not really one of those people that do that, Miss Marie. I don't like my music real loud, like concert level loud. I mean, if I'm playing George Thorogood or the Cars or Van Halen or, something, Motley Crue, of course I'm going to crank it up a little bit. That's what that music, Ted Nugent, that's how that music was designed to be played, right?
Mm-hmm.
But believe it or not, I like all kinds of music. I can go from Ted Nugent to classical in a matter of 15 minutes. And it has a lot to do with what my mood is.
Sure.
And I know some guys that have some.
The eclectic taste in music, absolutely. So it looks like we still have some residual internet problems going on here, potentially with Rob. So hopefully those will correct themselves quickly and he'll get back here. There he is. He's back. Just saying,
Well,
looks like
not
we've got some residual internet problems going on here.
Well, we're still having storms today. And,
okay.
Yeah, but you and I have done podcasts with storms and we've not had any issues. But the last couple of days, for whatever reason, it's been a challenge. That's really discouraging. All right, so with that being said, we have an important subject today. And evidently it left the screen here. Put it back on there. There we go. Should I stay or should I go? Miss Maria, in the intro, as you heard, I referenced our hokey pokey.
1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yep. And guys, that's different. Go and search our YouTube channel, Facebook page, whatever the case may be, and put in hokey pokey, and it will come up. But it is different. We don't play that type of game. This is talking specifically about the business building system, your leadership. The other one is talking about the company, the timing of the company, the stability of the company, the lack of international expansion, the lack of adding product that they promised, or they're changing the comp plan because their finances aren't working out the way. That's a totally different thing. You got to have 1 foot in the company and 1 foot looking for a new company. That's what the hokey pokey is all about. This one is should I stay or should I go is like a personality clash between me and Miss Marie. She's my sponsor. She promised me this, promised me that. Come to find out, those were empty promises, and she does not have the knowledge or experience, and she's not building the business, whatever. Now, we all have to take responsibility for our own success. I'm not saying that I'm going to allow her to interfere with my lifestyle. I mean, my life goals. What I'm saying is, as a group of information come together, and it's becoming apparent that the business building system doesn't work, that the company's changing the comp plan. Miss Marie doesn't know what she's doing. I've really, her sponsors, upline leaders, are not cooperating. In other words, I can't get a hold of them, or if I do, they don't answer my questions, or they just blow me off. They don't get back with me. I have a lot of negatives going on, and I have to ask myself, am I going to fight all of these negatives, or am I going to find a better situation that has a more positive surroundings? Because you got to realize, as we said many times, it's about synergy. It's about a number of dynamic things in the new company during its growth phase coming together. Okay. And that includes the excitement that's in the industry and the company about the comp plan, about the product, about the leadership, about the growth of the company, the future of the company. The leaders, professional business builders that are coming from other companies to this new company, there's a lot of synergy. And synergy encompasses all of that. When I use the word synergy, it encompasses all of that I just talked about, okay? And that has to be working in your favor. You have to have a lot of positives working in your favor. You can't be the only soldier fighting the battle, you against 100, okay? Eventually, you're going to lose that battle. Somebody's going to get you. Well, that's what we have here is should I stay or should I go? There's so many negatives that you have to sit down and evaluate, is this really a good environment for me to build a business in? Because you may have the willpower, the strength, and the fortitude to do it. And you can take pride in that. But you got to think about your downline, because they're going to be like, oh, hell no, I ain't doing this. Right, Ms. Marie? You can't assemble a team, right?
Exactly. Yes. Yep.
So you have to realize, guys, that it's the decision that you're going to make is more about your downline than it is about your fortitude and your ability and willingness to fight that admirable battle, if you want to call it admirable at all. Okay. So the question is, should I stay or should I go? Because look, there could be a promising future with this company. It may get off to a rocky start. It may be unstable for a bit. It doesn't mean it's not going to get on its feet. It doesn't mean that it couldn't turn out to be something special. Okay. And do you really need your upline leadership? Do you really need their input and their support? Do you really need Miss Marie to be there for you all the time? The answers to those questions are no for most people. For instance, Miss Marie and I, being the pros that we are, we're going to build a business ourselves. We're not going to ask for help from anybody. It's not because we're special or great. It's because our knowledge and experience, we say, hey, I already done this before. I know how to do this. I don't need their help. I don't need their business building system. So really that's null and void. I don't need to worry about any of that. What I need to focus in on is the company and the comp plan and the future of the expansion plans and the future of the product expansion. I need to focus on those things, which puts us into the show Hokey Pokey, doing the Hokey Pokey, okay? Not this episode. So hopefully, Miss Marie, did I make the differences distinctly clear?
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. They do intertwine a little bit, obviously, because whether or not the company is going to be stable oftentimes determines the quality of the leadership or your upline availability and those types of things. So there is a little bit of overlap, but they are kind of two separate topics as well.
That's right. Yeah. And you can't have a topic of this type without blending into the Hokey Pokey episode.
Well, I don't know that we have any episode that's a true standalone and doesn't intertwine with other topics we're talking about, because it's all part of the same thing. So, it's a very complex web.
It is. Yes, one topic leads into another. Unfortunately, that's the way the business model works. We just follow the lead of the business model and how it works. So, because when we talk about one topic, it becomes apparent that we need to talk about the adjoining topic. And that's sometimes how we come up with our episodes. If you watch and listen to our episodes at all, you'll hear us say, hey, we need to do a show on that. We're not afraid to say, hey, we need to cover that. Because we realize sometimes, once again, that we had totally missed the boat on stuff. Matter of fact, we did some. I told you the other day, I have the paperwork here somewhere. Remember, we haven't done an episode on 90-day mini blast or the 4 critical mistakes. Now, how silly is that? 2 of the biggest items we talk about, and we haven't talked about a 90-day mini blast. How do you do it? What do you look for during that process? And the 4 critical mistakes. People are like, well, what the hell are they? Kind of important there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah. We're talking about all this other stuff. We're referring to those all the time. And people are probably like, where am I supposed to learn about that stuff? So the point is, guys, we try to cover as much material as we can that is relevant to your success. And today is no different. And should I stay or should I go? Man, that's a tough answer. We tell you in the lead in the show that we're going to take a deep dive in these things. But one thing we'll never tell you is we're going to make the decision for you. We're going to look into these things as deeply as we can as the time allows. But at the same time, ultimately, the decision is going to boil down to you making that really tough decision, because there's no real standard, Miss Marie. Each situation is different because each company's different. I really sometimes, Miss Marie, I really struggle with certain aspects of explaining life. But Miss Marie, the moment that you and I are talking right now, this very second that we're discussing will never be duplicated again. It's come and it's gone. The words we use, the mannerisms, everything's caught on video and audio, and those moments are gone. You and I will, even if we were to stop the show right now and try and redo it, it would be different. Those moments are gone. We shared that moment. When we walk away, I take these moments with me for the rest of my life, and same with you and all those that listen. Okay, now why do I bring that up? Because that shows you how independent this decision is. It's a decision that is made in the moment of that company's growth, in the moment of the comp plan adjustment, in the moment of product line additions or subtractions, okay, or ingredient changes. All of those things play an important role in your decision. And this is an important decision, Ms. Marie. People should not take it lightly going from one company to the other. And you say, well, it's just as simple as saying, no, I'm not going to be with this company anymore. That's true. Absolutely. But you know what? It starts the whole process over again, looking for a company that has the 5 things. And then you got to get all the other parts of your business set up for this new company. And you have to change your mindset. And I'm not going to make it like it's a dramatic decision, but it is a decision, and it's a change. You pretty much put yourself in neutral. You back up. You evaluate things again. You start to put the car in drive again, and you have to change your whole mindset. Yes, you're looking for the same people, but now, because here's what I'm saying, Miss Marie, and I really should clarify, because sometimes I may use these words and I don't clarify why I say them. Guys, if I leave company A, and I've been out there promoting company A, and this is the reason why you don't use the company as a prospecting tool, the reason why you don't use a comp plan as a company tool, and I'll explain to you what I'm saying. If you say company A is the best I've ever been with, I've been in this industry for 30 years, it's the best I've ever seen. If I say that this comp plan this company uses is the best I've ever seen, this is the best product I've ever been associated with, and then you go to company B because things are happening with company A, and you're saying, you know what, I can't promote this to my people. I can't look people in the eye and say, I need to move on. And you go to company B, this is the best company I've ever been with. This is the best comp plan I've ever seen. Okay? What are you doing? You just ruined your credibility. You show that you're a snake oil salesman instead of a true business builder with integrity. Okay? What are you doing? You're nothing more than a promo man. That's all you are, just utilizing the business model, the business model. So you can't sit there and do that and get away with it. Miss Maria, I've known people to do that, and it disheartened me so that I got away from them and I never worked with them again. Have you ever experienced that?
Oh yeah, sure. And it's one of those things. It's like everybody wants to think their company's the best, right?
Yeah.
And that's why we talk about promoting the business model to build wealth, really kind of more focusing on your personal brand and what you bring to the table rather than what the company is.
That's
The
right.
company is kind of the interchangeable part. It's the network
right.
marketing business model that we're really looking to leverage, because you're absolutely right. If you're there and it's like, this is the best ever, and then you leave, it's like, so were you lying, or was it actually not, or what changed?
There it is.
It creates all sorts of drama, right? And that's one thing nobody needs in their business is extra drama.
Well, if you're going to have a brand, and you are a brand, Marie Cannon is a unique individual that God made that will never be duplicated. There'll never be another Marie Cannon. Yes, name-wise there will be. Probably is a lot. There's a lot of Robbies out there. But here's the thing. None of them are me, and I'm not them. We are all uniquely different. So the point is that Marie's a brand. Why ruin that brand by saying this is the greatest company of all time? You know what? If you know how to build a business, then that is your calling card. You don't need to promote the company. The reason why we use the music to the ears message, and it's the reason why we use the company as a tool and the products as a tool. It's one of the most important things. And I guess we ought to do an episode on that. Here we are doing exactly what we talked about a minute ago, because guys, it's not about the company. It's not about the product. It's not about the comp plan. It's about you having the knowledge and experience to tap into any new network marketing company. If it has the 5 things a company must have, and you tap into that, well, guess what? It's about you and your knowledge taking that unique moment in time and growing a business with your knowledge and your activity and your experience. Okay, so let's get to this point. We got to.
Oh, somebody's unhappy in the background, so Rob's gonna have to mute out for just a second there while things calm down, so we're not bleeding over the sound too much. This is real life, people. You know, we're working out of our home offices. Things happen. There gets to be a little bit of commotion in the background sometimes. Every once in a while, you hear the cat wailing at my door because unhappy. I'm guessing Rob has the grandkids there, and somebody's unhappy for a moment.
That's right. And it happens very seldom, so I have no problem with it. They're expressing themselves. Grandma's got it under control. All right, so the point is, guys, is that should you stay or should you go? It boils down to this. You shouldn't say, well, I'm unhappy, so I'm going to leave. That's selfish. That's self-centered. That's egotistical. You have to, once again, think about your downline, because you got to realize you're assembling a team of people that could possibly follow you for the next 10 years. And you cannot drag them from one company to the other. You're going to wear them out. You're going to worry them. You're going to lose them. Okay. You have to be a very strong person. And if you start seeing signs that are making you uncomfortable, then you start thinking at night, should I stay or should I go? You should do this. Get a piece of paper and write down the pros and cons to help clarify that moment. It will help you to make that decision or to not make that decision. Because look, not leaving at that particular moment could be the greatest thing you ever did. Things could turn around tomorrow. It may seem daunting, right? At that moment, when you're making that list, it may seem impossible at that moment. Okay. But I have seen things turn around with a new company. All right. If a company goes out of business while you're building your business, it's not your fault. Just because you didn't see it coming or you got caught with your pants down, which I've done, I think Miss Marie has as well. I didn't beat myself up. I said it sucked and it put me in a tough position. There's no doubt about it. But the thing is that I allowed that to happen because at one moment I was spending too much money and having too much fun instead of being responsible. I'm not afraid to admit that. Okay. So the thing is that you have to realize, guys, is that if the company does go belly up, it's not anything you did. Your sole responsibility is to set the example for your people by doing what? CCBBA, period. Okay. And CCBBA encompasses the whole business building process, the 5 simple steps that we talk about. You just got to do those consistently and correctly all the time. That's all you're responsible for, and being the leader that you need to be. All right. And working with your people, blah, blah, blah. That's your role. And don't let anybody else tell you anything different. You say, well, why is that important in this decision? Because if you did everything you could do and the company goes belly up, then your people are going to respect you. Because everybody in your downline, especially your leaders, going to say, well, nobody saw that coming. It's not your fault. Rob, did the company say anything to you? Marie, did the company say, no, I did. They didn't say a word to me. I'm just as upset as you guys. Well, you know what? These things happen. What do you want to do? And they're going to look to you for guidance, okay? Because they have respect for you. And this is where they'll follow you to another company because you didn't say the company's the greatest I've ever seen. The comp plan is the greatest I've ever seen. This is the best product line I've ever seen. Again, those are tools. Those are not the reasons to build the business. Those are tools. Promotional tools, okay? And Miss Marie, how can I say this? Certain people, no matter what industry you're in, let's say that Marie and I are in the same industry, and let's say we start out in this new industry, and this industry is a baby right now. And all of a sudden, and Miss Marie and I are in this industry because we enjoy it. Yeah, we're making money, and that's cool, and we're making a living, but we're not wealthy and money's not pouring in, but it's nice income and we like it and we're having fun. And then all of a sudden, the popularity starts picking up. And let's say that Marie and I are at the cutting edge. In other words, we're part of the reason that this industry is going from its infancy, okay, into the maturity phase. In other words, Marie said, hey, I can make this better. And Rob says, hey, I can make this part better. And we kind of, without really working together, we kind of move this new industry forward. All right. Then all of a sudden, Miss Marie runs into this corporate guy who says, hey, we see growth in what you guys are doing. And when you understand that you're right at the leading edge of this growth, we've seen improvements that you've made in this industry and it's really brought it into the mainstream eye. Hey, how would you like to join, make a partnership, and let's really tap into this thing? And so Marie says, well, let's sit down and talk. And so she goes and meets with him and then lay out a proposal. Well, hey, we see where in the future this is going to grow X amount, blah, blah, blah. And if you want to join together as a team, we'll pay you $3 million a year over the next 10 years. Okay. Marie's like dumbfounded. She's like, I had no idea. She's thinking herself. But they say, but we also know that Rob has been at the leading edge and he's been doing some wonderful things. And we know that Rob. Will you talk to him or have him come to another another meeting. So she contacts Rob and she tells Rob what happened and what kind of proposal they made. And I'm like, Marie, I can't believe you did that. You're selling out to the corporate America. This is bull crap and this and that. And Marie's like, Rob, this is big money. The only people that can afford to pay this is corporate America. This industry is going to grow with or without us. We might as well get our share now. And this corporation is a media giant. And I don't mean like ABC, Miss Marie. I'm saying this is, let's say it's a production company. But guess what? They have the money to do what? Promote this new industry and Marie. They're going to prop Marie up. She's going to get a haircut. She's going to get all the new clothes. And what is it, Miss Marie? It's promotion. Miss Marie, do you realize the money that's in promotion? Period. Mm-hmm. It's all about promotion. It's all about advertising. And Rob will be left in the dust. No, Miss Marie, I'm going to be pure to this industry. I'm not going to sell out. 10 years down the road, Miss Marie's made $30, $40, $50 million. And Rob is sitting there living in a one-room shack. And I'm still doing the same basic things in this industry that I was doing when Miss Marie joined this corporation. And I'm bitter because she made $50 million because she became part of the promotion machine. And Rob didn't. Okay. Rob's like, money's not everything. All right. And Miss Marie's life has changed dramatically. Now, why do I bring that up? Because guys, what you're doing with the business model, your knowledge, your experience, and this and that, guys, it's all about the promotion of your brand. You'll make big money if you'll remain true to the business building system. You don't get caught up in promoting the company that it's something that it's not, the best you've ever seen. That promo works in the opposite direction too. It will ruin you if you don't do it right. But Miss Marie, if you do the business building system, the CCBBA, you let the company do what it's going to do, all right, and you grow with it, Miss Marie, guess what? It's no different than that example I gave you. Rob, guess what? Did his part in the partnership, the corporate partnership of this new networking company and my activity. Does that make sense? Did that example make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that example makes sense. I mean, it's talking about the fact that, you know, you have to be focused on the right things.
Yes.
And one of the things I wanted to touch on is oftentimes you get in a situation where you want to believe your downline is going to follow you because you're a good leader, you've taught them correctly, and they'll follow you wherever you go. Well, if you're in a situation where something goes wrong and the company closes, they don't have the option of staying put, right? So it's more likely that the majority of your leaders are going to follow you to the next opportunity.
That's right.
Because they've already trusted you and made some money and had a certain level of success, and then the rug kind of gets pulled out from under you, right?
That's right. That's right.
But if you're in a situation where it's not that the company's closing, but you just don't like some things that you're seeing, it may or may not even be valid. It could be a personality conflict, whatever happens, that you're going to move on to a different opportunity. You like to think that your entire downline is going to follow you, but the odds are they're not. Some are just going to stay put because there's a certain level of comfort in the familiar, right?
Yes.
So they're familiar with the product, they're familiar with the compensation plan, they're familiar with the business model that they've been working with. And if they're experiencing success and they're not having the same types of issues that you are causing you to move, they're more likely to just stay put because it's comfortable rather than making the move. So those are some things you have to take into account as well.
Absolutely. And let me say this, going to back up a little bit to the pros and cons list, guys. The reason I tell you to make that out at the moment that you feel things are going bad, you lose nothing by staying with the company until, like Miss Marie said, the rug's pulled out from underneath of you. In other words, they close their doors. That's not your fault, as we stated. So with that being said, you have nothing to lose to stay, right? But here's the thing. You have the pro and con list. And let's say you say, you know what? I'm not really sure. This is not a good time to make this decision because I'm really confused. Everything's kind of jumbled up in my head. I've talked to my spouse. My head is no clearer now than it was then. I've talked to my peers. I'm still confused. When you're confused, do not make an important decision. Carry that pros and cons list. Let a few weeks go by and watch how that pros and cons list changes for the better or for the worse. The thing is that the pro and con list will help clear your head, and what transpires over the next few weeks will help make it even clearer. And then you can make a decision, as Miss Marie stated, that will be a better educated decision, because that's what it is. It's an educated decision. Nobody can foretell the future, and it's going to be an educated decision. Okay. And that, if you do it, if you take that approach, you're going to feel a whole lot better about your decision, one way or the other, than you would if you were to make that decision under duress or in a confused state. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So there again, stick with the basics in the decision-making process. Do not make a rash decision under duress. And I don't mean like somebody's putting a lot of pressure on you or anything. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves, Miss Marie, sometimes. And sometimes we're too quick to judge because we think, I've seen this before and we need to go now. And sometimes I can come back and bite you in the butt because you don't know what the leaders are working on behind closed doors. They may, in fact, have problems, legitimate problems in the beginning. What company doesn't? But it's all about, what do the leaders do? The owners of the company, the people in the front office, are they quality people where they have the contacts to get input and then listen to input, then execute that input to turn the company around? You don't know that. And so making a rash decision, especially with a new company, Miss Marie, and especially within its first year, is tough. Think of what Richard Call would have done. Okay, I always go back to this because it's such a unique and interesting and fascinating example. Look, when he rented the New Skin, they were literally using postcards to lay out the genealogy to pay people. They didn't have a computer system to do that with. They couldn't afford one. When they were handing out product, and you can read this story for yourself, when they were first getting started, they had 55-gallon drums, Miss Marie, delivered to their apartments. Who in the world? And people were coming to the apartment, knocking on the door, and they were scooping product out of the drums and putting them in Tic Tac containers and medicine bottle containers. Guys, they couldn't afford packaging. And there were some top-notch leaders that told them, said, you know what, I'm not going to be a part of a rinky-dink operation. When you guys get serious, get back with me. I think you have something here. And some of those people left. I can only imagine how discouraging that was. But here's the thing. Richard Call looked beyond that. What did he do, Miss Marie? He focused on what? His own activity. He said, I have no control over where this company's going to be around. All I know is right now, this company is growing. And he almost put him out of business. I told you that. He created so much activity, they had a hard time keeping up with the demand. Okay. Now, here's the thing, Miss Marie. The reason I bring that up is because if he'd have focused on all the bad things that were going on, okay, they're using index cards. Index cards. You know, they're operating out of an apartment, they're using index cards to do the genealogy. They're using Tic Tac containers to deliver product. I'm not going to be a part. If he thought that way, he would not have created the monster lifestyle that he has, the monster organization that he built. And guys, he had that moment, which we're talking about right now. How many times, Miss Marie, do you think with his wife going through what she's going through, he said, should I stay or should I go? Many times. I would imagine he thought, what in the hell am I doing? You know?
Well, I'm sure it crossed his mind, but at the same time, I think one of the points you really highlighted here that's important is he focused on what he could control.
There it is.
He focused on what he was able to do with the business within the parameters that were laid out that he could do. This was his baby, that's right. His thing that he could do. The rest of it he had no control over. Yep. And yes, depending on how things would go, because obviously if he's using something like the threshold of profitability, which has to do with volume, which has to do with moving product. Well, if the product isn't getting moved and there's delivery problems and things like that, that's going to cramp his style. That's going to start affecting his credibility, his integrity, those types of things, which may lead him to ask that question, should I stay or should I go?
That's right.
But within the context of, hey, they're getting the product out, how they're doing it's maybe not how I would do it if that was what I was controlling, but that's not my thing. My thing is promoting this business opportunity and getting the word out there.
And there's a keyword, promo, which we just did an example on. Big money and promotion, guys. But here's the thing. She nailed it. As usual, here's the thing. This was 1982 when the whole economy, and especially real estate in New York City, collapsed, ruined him overnight. He had a real estate empire, and I don't mean like huge, but I mean for an individual, he was doing really nice. It wiped him out overnight. Okay. And he needed money now. So he needed to find something. He knew about network marketing, and he got his butt in gear, and he did exactly what Miss Marie said. The only thing he could control was his activity. And think about it. Here's his mindset. I don't care if that company sticks around or not. Right now, I need money, and they're paying me. I'm going to work this until they either go out of business or we're going to both have an amazing story to tell down the road. Okay? And that's what he did, Miss Marie. He literally just did what he could do, and he didn't worry about the rest. He didn't care about the product delivery. He didn't care about the complaint. If they're sending me money, I'm going to keep working it. Right?
Yeah. So really the question in his mind of the should I stay or should I go, it was almost the decision he made by default was, I'm going to stay until they force me to go by going out of business. Really,
that's right? Exactly. You nailed it. Okay. So, but here's the thing. Even if he made a list of pros and cons, which the cons would have greatly outweighed the pros. Okay. We all know that in this situation, he allowed things to play out. And that's a reason I tell that story is because the people that made up the front office of Nu Skin at that time, even though they were facing all these monumental challenges and all the negativity, they stayed focused and they made the right business decisions to move Nu Skin into a legit business operation. And he had no idea whether these people had that ability or not. But here's the thing. He did what he could do, and he let the rest play out. That's the whole reason I just made that example a minute ago. You don't know what the front office is capable of doing. They may be working magic behind closed doors. And it hurts no one for you to stick around, but I encourage you to make a list of pros and cons, because as you scratch those pros and cons off, okay, as the company addresses an issue and fixes it and moves on, that's going to give you confidence that, hey, I need to stay. You see what I'm saying, Miss Marie? Because you can physically pull out that paper and look that you've crossed out some of the cons, and you're saying, these guys are really on it. They're really doing something. Maybe I need to stay here too. All right. But if the con list keeps growing and you're not scratching anything off, what does that tell you? That maybe it's time to go, right, Miss Marie? It's a personal decision. But if that con list keeps growing and you're not scratching anything off of it, and the pro list isn't growing, then there's problems. There's big problems, right? And you'll have to make that decision, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And let me throw this golden nugget out there. If you decide to go, you need to get all your top leaders together on a Zoom call, whatever. And you got to say, guys, and you need to show that list, hold it up on the screen and say, I've been doing, and you know what, as a group, because you leaders, we've all worked together. We're partners. You're more than welcome to stay. I don't know if I say that in the beginning, but I mean, the point is saying, guys, my experience has shown me that there's too many cons here. I don't think the company can overcome this. It's a calculated risk and judgment call on my part, but I think I'm going to look for another. And I'd love for you guys to go with me because, okay, and let it be known that you're not being selfish, asking them to go with you. Just say, look, we've all worked well together. We have really good chemistry here. We get with the right company. We could really work together as a team and do something special. But I don't think this company is going to provide that type of atmosphere. Okay, because once again, guys, this is a synergy environment. In other words, there has to be multiple things working together in a positive manner. That doesn't mean there won't be challenges, but there has to be a number of positive things happening that causes this synergy, because you got to realize you alone cannot create momentum. It takes all of these things, and we talk about all the time, Miss Marie, the excitement and the buzz about the company, the comp plan, in the industry, not just the company. Miss Marie, you've been there. You've heard about other companies. People have come to you, and you hear about it one time, and all of a sudden 2 days later you hear about it again, and then you hear about it here and there, and you're like, wow, there's something going on with this company. Everybody's talking about it. You've experienced that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Both in positive aspects and negative.
Well, I didn't want to go there, but yeah. Yes. Okay. So, to summarize and bring the show to a close, should I stay or should I go? Obviously, it's a personal decision, but we've given you a lot of great information that you can use to make that decision as best as you can. The key is to make an educated decision that's best for you at that moment. But there's more damage done by making an irrational, quick decision than taking a wait and see type of attitude, just like the example in the Richard call. What do you got to lose if you stay with the company, it goes out of business? You have absolutely nothing to lose, right, Miss Marie?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't think if I left the company, I did. I left Amway, but that was because the money wasn't there anymore. It wasn't because of anything else. All right. So with that being said, tomorrow, Miss Marie, think about it. Tomorrow is Freelance Friday, episode number 52. Can you believe it? Oh, my
goodness.
Number 52. I have to go back and see. I don't know if I reset our Freelance Friday to 0 when you and I started.
I don't think we did. We couldn't have.
Well, because when did we do our first episode? July
6th.
I knew it was the first week of July. See, I was there. So we're really on number 39 as far as you and I go.
Something like that. I don't know. My math isn't that good. All I know is you've got a year's worth of Freelance Fridays under your belt. Some are better than others because some I'm there and some I'm not. So
that's right. There we go. Well, there is no doubt this show is much better with you. There is no doubt about it, because I've watched some of my own episodes, Miss Marie. Some of them are pretty cringeworthy. I remember when Mike Dillard and I were, and when I was visiting with him one time, and we were talking about, his journey into the internet marketing and arena. And he goes, man, he said, I look at some of my early work, and he says, man, I cringe. He said, how in the hell anybody ever read that? I'll never know.
Hey, it's just a constant process of improvement.
There it is.
We're
right
all
there.
on a journey. We're all getting better. If the early ones weren't cringeworthy, that means we're still doing the exact same thing, and they're all right. Cringeworthy. So
that's right. Hey, can you tell I've gotten sun?
A little bit. I see that.
Yeah. Too much information. Tan all over.
All right. So tomorrow, May 7th, we're going to be doing our Freelance Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Hope you can join us, because you never know what you're going to get. It's a surprise to even us. Absolutely.
All right, guys, we're going to hop off of here. I'm not going to do the promo. We've already been on here too long. Our website. We have a podcast replay, and our products are there. Talk to you guys later. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, themlmsolution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.